Let's take them the best part of the season, but Bolton Wanderers are in a promotion race with a win away from entering the playoffs. We'll talk about that and much more next. Back once again with another British show. Today we take a look at Matchday number out in the old League 2, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, I said, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash the old subscribe button to get you bang up to date with all things League 2 related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football really we're going to know here. Under Waruski, that's right, boys and girls. Yes, Bolton keep up the heat, picking up 6 points this past week to move within the cusps of course, those glory playoff spots. Can they get themselves into contention? We'll take a look at all that in a minute. But before that, big shout out to you know bloody who. Who am I talking about? Yes, indeed, I'm talking about the Patreons. Whoa, yeah, you know who I'm on about. Because in the past few days, we've actually seen ourselves increase our patronage by 2. That's right. Goodness gracious me. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this right here. So big shout out to the guys. We're talking about Tom Beresford back in the hunt, of course. Patron number 24. But Alan MC, I said you know me. I said Alan MC, you know me. He came in and of course made it to number 25. So big shout out to him. And of course to Tom as well. And the rest of the boys and girls that support the boys. That is me behind the scenes. I do appreciate that, guys. But until then, if you are interested, check out the links down below. There is a link, patreon.com/Roverseas. It's right here as well. You can see it up here. But anyway, we're going to crack on and take a look at League 2 then, shall we? Of course, busy few days. This video, we're just going to be doing the midweek games. We'll come back again, separate video for the next one, because it's pretty much a full list as well. So we're going to get into it, of course. Here we bloody go, kicking it all the way back, of course, to Tuesday, the 16th of Feb. Salford City, they are still pretty, with a 1-0 win over Barrow, who, of course, I think they just parted with their manager. Of course, David Dunn was parted way back, I think maybe before Christmas, but whoever was in the realm since then has now gone their separate ways. Ian Henderson with the goal, giving Salford the win. Actually, with the 2-0 win myself, not too shabby. Walsall got beaten by Cheltenham on the same day, 2-1 win for Cheltenham. Goal scorer Sam Smith, Callum Wright as well. Carlisle and Lavery on the score sheet for Crawley, giving themselves, for Walsall, giving them some hope, but no. 2-0 for me, not too shabby. Crawley against Stevenage ended up as a 1-0 win for Stevenage, giving themselves some belief that maybe they're going to survive this season. Elliot Osborne on the score sheet, actually went with the 2-1 win for Crawley. Shame on me. Bradford, big week for them as well, back-to-back wins, and then they could be also moving ever so closer to, of course, the playoffs. 2-1 for them. I got that one bang on the bloody nose as well, even though I want my Morecambe to do well. They're actually doing all right, actually, Morecambe. Goal scores Anthony O'Connor, Charles Vernon on the score sheet for Bradford, John O'Sullivan, ex-Rover on the score sheet for Morecambe there, giving themselves some hope, but unfortunately no good. They're Vegans. They got themselves a win as well over Harry Kuehl's boys. 7-goal thriller, 4-3 in the end for the Vegans, aka Forest Green. Barry Cargill with a couple of goals there, Jamie Maltz as well, Josh Davison on the score sheet. Bobby Grant, Conor McAverley with a couple of goals there for Oldham, giving them some hope, but unfortunately too little, too late. That one. It's Harrogate. They took on, of course, Carlisle. 1-0 win for them. I went with a 2-0 win for Carlisle. Shame on me. Goal scorer on the day was Josh March even to you and me. 1-0 win for Harrogate in the end. Newport County against Exeter ended up all square 1-1 with goals from Dominic Telford for Newport. Ryan Bowman on the score sheet for Exeter. He also got himself sent off, and they also lost Alex Hartridge, ending up the game with 9 men. Kicking it forward though, Mansfield did beat Bolton. Actually, they lost to Bolton. 3-2 win for Bolton in the end. That was on Wednesday's action. Declan John with a goal, Arthur Kanuna with Marvin Benning with a big for OG. Ollie Clark and Jamie Reid on scoring match, giving them some hope, but unfortunately no good. Into the weekend's games. Exeter against Grimsby was postponed. We'll have to do that another time. Barrow against Morecambe ended up as a 2-1 win for Morecambe. This was the game that cost him his job, and I got the one bang on the bloody nose. Aaron Waldig on the score sheet, Kevin Mellor as well. Scott Quigley getting the goal for Barrow. Too little, too late. Cheltenham did lose to Bradford. 2-0 for Bradford. Actually went with 2-0 the other way. Andy Cook with a brace on that one. Did he score midweek? I'm trying to see it. Where are you? We just talked about the goals. No, he didn't. He didn't score midweek. Meanwhile, Crawley against Colchester. Of course, picking up 3 points this week as well. 1-0 for them. Actually went with a 2-1 win for Crawley, so not too shabby on that either. James Tilley on the score sheet for Crawley, giving them the win. Late goal on that one, 93rd minute. Stevenage against Walsall ended up as a 1-1 draw there. Stevenage picking up 4 points this week as well. Good progression for them moving forward as well. Elliot List on the score sheet. Callahan Lavery again on the score sheet for Walsall. Liam Kinsella got himself sent off. Meanwhile, Leyton, Orient and Port Vale end up as a draw. 1-1 on that badger in the end at Brisbane Brody Road. Goal scorers there for Leyton Orient, of course, was Daniel Kemp for the Scottish, Daniel David Moore as well, giving Port Vale some hope on that one, but yeah, no, too little too late. Meanwhile, Mansfield lost to Cambridge. Not a good week for Mansfield, back-to-back defeats to them. Cambridge coming out on top with a 3-0 win over Mansfield. Paul Mullen with a brace, Harvey Knibbs as well. Good player that Harvey Knibbs, one to keep an eye on for the future. 2-1 for me. Shame on me, of course. Newport against them Vegans, 2-0 win for the Vegans, so big win for the Vegans, picking up 6 out of 6 for them. To, of course, keep up the heat with Cambridge, of course. Goal scorers on this badger. Where do we have them? This was on Sunday, this was just a minute ago. Josh Davis and Jimmy Malton scored for the Vegans, giving them the win. Meanwhile, Salford against Carlisle was another drop points for Carlisle. They look absolutely shit right now. They were flying bloody high. They do have games in hand, I believe. George Tanner scored for Carlisle. James Wilson for Salford. 2 ex-Manchester United guys there, I believe, scoring goals. Scunthorpe United against Harrogate was a 3-1 win for Scunthorpe, but again, they're climbing the table as well. 3-1 win for Scunthorpe. 2-1 for me. Goal scorers for me on the day were Devon Green, Ryan Loft, Lewis Spence as well. Josh March on the score sheet once again for Harrogate, but too little too late. Southend against Bolton again. Bolton picking up wins on this one. What do we have with a 1-0 win for Bolton? 2-1 for me for Bolton as well. Goal scorer on the day, the one and only Sean Miller on the score sheet, giving them the back-to-back wins again, moving him within touching distance of the players. And Tranmere can only muster a draw against Oldham. 2-2 in the end. Actually, I'm with the 2-0 win myself. The goal scorers on the day for Tranmere, of course, falling off the pace a little bit. Davis, Keller Dunn for Oldham, Dilian Bubadala as well, with Saldo John Batty himself set off. Callum McDonald, Kane Woolley on the score sheet there for Tranmere. So as you can see, I got myself 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Niner for me, which is pretty good. What about you guys? We'll take a little look in a minute. Of course, let's take a look at the table. Here it is. Cambridge leads charged by 1 point. Forest Green Rovers are second. Cheltenham are third, of course. Morecambe still within touch distance of the automatic. Salford up there as well. Tranmere and Newport County. As for right now, Grimsby and Barrow going down. Southend aren't out of the discussion yet either. Of course, those two bottom teams do have games in hand. Potentially, they could climb the table and maybe move up a little bit as, of course, the season progresses. Go forward then, shall we? Take a look at how you all got on then, shall we? With, of course, your prediction legal of yourselves then, shall we? Here we bloody go. This is the criteria. 0 to 6, you're in the shitface gang. 7 to 14, you're in the shitface gang. And 15 plus, if you're out there, you bloody, I'll give you the money myself. Jacob Jakobsen, you did. Okay, brother Zappy Cook, we'll give you a round of applause for that one. Zappy Cook, you did shite. Absolute shite. Olaji Ojo, you did shite, but it's okay. James BCFC, you are great. You're not too shabby either. Shadow Ninja did bits. Russell Foss did absolutely fantastic. Well done, well done. Omar Esquivel also did shit, but it's okay. D-Man, you did okay. Okay, didn't do okay. Did poop this time. Nathan Eve also did very, very well. Yannick Buster did bits. Shepard also did very, very well indeed. Of course, well done. I'm Stringer did okay. Gaming Charlie, not too shabby. Lipsy, new to the scene, he also did very, very well. Ultra Omir, well done to welcome to you. Of course, and you also did good. Fuddy 77 also did shy. Okay. Ollie Hambley, absolutely blow. I don't know why I'm giving you a flipping round of applause for that, because that was shit. Even with an edit, at least 2021, you also did good. Alex Weller, you did shite. And Tom Stainer, oh, fantastic. Welcome. Thank you for the support again. We've been patrons. But of course, you did poop. This is, of course, the leaderboard for this week and this week alone. If your name's Olaji Ojo, okay, Alex Weller, or Ollie Hambling, go get yourself some tea. Don't even look at it. But if your name's Ivan Stringer, Russell Foster, or Joachim Jakobsen, take a bloody bow. Look at that. 9 out of... what is it, 18? That's around about 50% success rate. That's not too shabby for this week. But what has that done to the overall leaderboard? Your big winners, where is he? Where is Frosty? Frosty, of course, keeping up the heat. Of course, he is your leader, so basically he's kept himself up there. He's actually probably extending his lead over the chasing pack. Joachim Jakobsen, I'm keeping up with him as well. Ivan Stringer into the scene, is he? He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to get anywhere near this. Realistically, you're looking at the top 5 here, maybe top 6. I'd probably even go as far as top 8 are in this hunt after that. Even though the patrons are here, they are starting to fall off the wayside. Let's take a look at, of course, the next round of matches. Of course, this is midweek. We're going to take a little look at it right here, right now. Kick it all off with, of course, the first one, which will be Morecambe up against Salford City. We'll get to that in just a second. Of course, Morecambe taking on, of course, Salford City. They played each other 3 times over the course of time in recent succession anyway. So we've seen 2 wins for Salford, nothing for Morecambe, and 1 draw. That, of course, draw was last time around at Morecambe back in September 2019, 2-2 in the end. Goal scorers on the day, Danny Lloyd with a brace, Sean Miller, Lewis Alexandra on the score sheet, of course. They did play each other this season in Salford. They actually played each other twice, both once in the Papa John's Trophy, which Salford won 2-0. They also played each other in Salford in the league. It was a 2-1 win for Salford with Ashley Hunter with a brace, Cole Stockton on the score sheet, of course. Heading into this, though, Morecambe coming at you just 1 win the past 5. That 1 was against Barrow just the other day. Meanwhile, Salford coming into this just 1 defeat the past 6. That 1 defeat was against Oldham all the way back at the end of October, end of Jan. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. 2-1 for Morecambe, 11-8 is your Salford, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Salford coming at you out in where are they in the table? 5th at the moment, and for them they could actually go as high as third in the table, whereas Morecambe are fourth, and they could also go as high as third with a win going their way. For me, I'm going to believe, and I'm going to believe in the Morecambe. They'll get the win here at home, 2-1 win, to keep the whatever they call them. Are they the Shrimpers, the Muscle Men? I don't even know what they call their nickname. But of course, hopefully keeping them in the hunt for automatics. Kicking on further though, of course, Bradford up against Leyton. Of course, Bradford looking good at the moment. What are they? Unbeaten. Actually, just one defeat past 6. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, place of their last 6 though. These two sides, of course, 3 wins for Bradford, 1 for Leyton, and 2 draws. Last round at Vale was all the way back in 2014 in League One. Billy Knott on the score sheet, Billy Clark as well. John Stead, of course, ex-Rover back in the day. David Mooney on the score sheet for Leyton Orient. Chris Degnell got himself sent off. They played at Brisbane Road this season out in November. Was a 1-0 win for Leyton Orient. Daniel Happer on the score sheet. But of course, since then, Bradford have turned their season around. Heading into this, just 1 defeat the past 6. I did talk about it, of course. That 1 defeat was against Exeter. It was a narrow defeat. Meanwhile, 5 games without a win for Leyton Orient. The last win was all against Morecambe, all the way back in the midway through the month of January. Look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Bradford coming at you out in 5-4 for the victory, 9-4 draw. 9-4 was also your away win. That is, of course, Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient are in 11th. The win for them, they could actually go as high as 10th. Bradford are 13th, and the win for them, they could also leapfrog Leyton Orient up to 11th. And again, be within touching distance of the playoffs themselves. So go with Bradford on this one. They've got the bit between the teeth. 2-0 win for them, and maybe their season is just about to kick on into another level. Next up, of course, we have Cambridge taking on, of course, Cheltenham Town. Of course, big one. This one for first up against third. Played their last 6. 1 win for Cambridge, 2 for Cheltenham, and 3 draws. Last time around at Cambridge was a 1-0 win for Cheltenham back in August 2018. Sam Jones on the score sheet, of course, back then. But of course, the pleasure this season out in Cheltenham was a 1-1 draw back in November. Ben Tozer on the score sheet, Paul Mullen on the score sheet as well for Cambridge. Heading into this, just 1 defeat about 6 for Cambridge. That was against Salford at the start of Feb. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat about 5 for Cheltenham. That was against Bradford just the other day. Like I said, in form Bradford. I look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Cheltenham coming at you at 30-10. They are the away team. They are the underdogs, 21-10. In fact, they are the favourites. 21-10 is your Cambridge, and 23-10 is your draw. Of course, Cambridge coming to add this. Of course, top of the pops. Cheltenham are in third, of course. Of course, a win for Cambridge. They will be top of the pops no matter what. As for Cheltenham, they are third. Win for them, they could close in on second. This one's tight. Very, very tight. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, though, for the leaders. That is Cambridge to keep on keeping on at the top of the table, if not extend the lead over the chasing pack. Next, of course, Carlisle up against Tranmere. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other in the last 6. What do we have? 2 wins for Carlisle, 4 for Tranmere, no draws. Last round in Carlisle was a 2-0 win for Tranmere back in September 2018. Tom Parks with a big for OG. Paul Mullen on the score sheet again. Of course, they played each other since then. And in fact, Tranmere actually are 3 games unbeaten against Carlisle. In fact, winning the last 3 and yet to concede a goal in the last 3. They've got to go all the way back to 2015 since Carlisle last scored against Tranmere. Of course, they played each other this season over in Tranmere. It was back in November. It was a 1-0 win for Tranmere. Corey Blackett-Taylor on the score sheet. But heading into this, though, Tranmere just 1 defeat past 6. Their 1 defeat was against Stevenage a couple of games back. Meanwhile, Carlisle 3 games without a win, losing 2 and drawing 1. I look at the bookies' odds on this one then, shall we? Carlisle 2017 on for the victory. They are your favourites. 13-5 is draw, 65 is your Tranmere. Tranmere, of course, falling away a little bit, but of course still in the playoffs. 6th at the moment, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 3rd in the table. Carlisle are 9th. They have at least 5 games in hand on some of the teams above them. If they win this one, they could also go back into the top 4 as well. For me, I'm going to go with Carlisle to get back to winning ways, or not. Maybe I'm going to go with a draw. That's right. Surprise. 1-1 draw in the end. Colchester United taking on, of course, Exeter, of course, a team also in the hunt. Colchester, close to the drop zone at the moment. They're absolutely panic stations for them. They were flying high. In fact, they were at the playoffs last season. Since then, it's all gone wrong. They played each other the last 6. They won for Colchester, 3 for Exeter, 2 draws. Last time around in Colchester was a 1-0 win for Colchester back in June 2020 in the playoffs, of course. Connor and Bramnell on the score sheet, giving Colchester the win then. They did play each other this season over in Exeter. It was a 6-1 win for Exeter back in November as well. Goal scorers on the day. Ryan Bowman with a hat-trick. Matty J with a couple goals as well. Joe Randall on the score sheet. Michael Folvey on the score sheet as well for Colchester, giving them some hope. But heading into this, Colchester without winning in 6. But just 2 defeats in the past 5, of course. But the rest have been draws. Meanwhile, unbeaten in the last 3. That's Exeter picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot. Of course, draw last time around. Heading into this, of course, Colchester coming at you on this one. 11-4 for the victory 2019 on Exeter. They are your favourites, and they are away team. The 5-2 is your draw. Colchester are on 20th in a win for them. They could actually go as high as 15th, whereas Exeter are in 8th in a win for them. They could go as high as 4th in the table. I don't think Colchester will get relegated. The gap between themselves and the going down is 10 points at the moment. But I don't anticipate them having too many struggles. Kicking off further though, I've got for me, I've gone with a 2-1 for Exeter to get themselves another 3 points. Again, moving in to the closer to the automatics. Grimsby up against Crawley. Of course, no Holloway these days, so I don't give a shit about Grimsby no more. Anyway, heading into this, of course, the picture of the last 6, 2 wins for Grimsby, 3 for Crawley, 1 draw. Last time around in Grimsby was a 1-1 draw back in December 2019. Of course, no one came out top on that one, but of course, they did play each other this season in Crawley back in November as a 2-1 win for Grimsby. Matt Green, Max Wright, and Scotty Max Waters getting the goal for Crawley. Heading into this, though, Crawley just won in the past 6. That one was against Colchester. Meanwhile, Grimsby 4 defeats in the past 5 games. The only positive was a draw against Southend, and that was quite a few games back, the middle of Jan. Of course, heading into this, Badger, of course, looking at this one, Grimsby 2-1 for the Richard. 11-8 is your Crawley. 23-10 is your draw. Of course, Crawley down into 12th now, but a win for them. They could actually go as high as 10th. Grimsby are in the drop zone, and right here, right now, if the season was to end today, they would be going to the non-league. But a win for them. They could go as high as Southend to get themselves up to as high as 22nd in the table. For me, though, I'm going to go with a 2-0 over for Crawley. I don't believe in Grimsby anymore. I think they look lost at sea. Harrogate taking on, of course, Mansfield. Let's get a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Pleasure just the one time in recent succession anyway as a 1-0 win for Harrogate. Back, of course, in November. The goal scorer on the day was Calvin Miller, giving Harrogate their 3 points. Heading into this, Mansfield, though, they were looking good at the moment. They were climbing the table, but of course, since the start of the month, they've gone a 4-game run without a win. Meanwhile, Harrogate winning 3 of the past 5, a couple of draws, a couple of defeats as well, to keep themselves well in comfort zone as well on this in this season. 7-4 for Harrogate, further victory. 17-10 is your Mansfield. 2-1 is your draw. Of course, Mansfield coming at you out in 18th now. A win for them, they could go as high as 13th, whereas Harrogate are 15th. A win for them, they could go as high as 11th. And maybe, just maybe, they could also squeeze into the contention for playoffs. I've gone on this one with a 2-1 win for Mansfield. I believe that they've got still a lot of quality in the tank, and again, I think they'll start to climb the table after this bit of a blip. Next up, of course, we have Oldham up against Barrow. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Northwest Crunch Clash. Played for the last 3, 2 wins for Oldham, 1 draw, nothing for Barrow, of course. Played for the in Barrow back in the start of the season. It was a 7-goal thriller going in favour of Oldham. Ben Gallity, Danny Rowe with a couple of goals there, Conor McKeowney as well. Scott Quigley, Matthew Platt, ex-Rover, of course, Carl Piagini on the score sheet for Barrow as well. They also played each other in Barrow in 2001. That was the one and only encounter I can see. It was a 1-0 win for Oldham in the FA Cup. Heading into this, though, of course, Barrow, 4 defeats on the spin. Their only positive was a win prior to that 4-game losing run against Scunthorpe. Meanwhile, Oldham just 1 win in the past 4. That one was against Salford. Since then, it's not been great. Of course, coming at you, of course, Oldham 11-8 for the victory. 15-8 is your Barrow. 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Barrow coming at you out of the relegation zone, but a win for them. They could actually go above Southend. As for Oldham, they're actually in 17th spot, but a win for them. They could also go as high as 12th in the table. I think Oldham will got this one comfortably with a 1-0 win over Barrow. Next, of course, we have Port Vale taking on Stevenage. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, Port Vale hotly tipped at the start of the season, but right here, right now, they look dog shit. Played the last 6, 2 wins for Stevenage, 1 for Port Vale, and 3 draws last round. In Vale was a 1-1 draw back in October 2019. Jack Taylor on the score sheet, Kurt Guthrie as well for Stevenage. Of course, played in Stevenage this season was a 2-1 win for Stevenage back in November. Adam Orte on the score sheet, Danny Newton as well. Devante Rodley getting the goal for Port Vale. Heading into this, Joe, just 1 win of the past 6 games for Port Vale. That was against Southend. 5-1 win it was. Just 1 defeat the past 5 for Stevenage. That was against Bolton 2 or 3 games back. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Port Vale 5-4 for the victory. 94 is your away win. That's Stevenage 23-10 is your draw. Port Vale coming at you out in 19th, and a win for them. They could go as high as 15th, whereas Stevenage are up to 21st at the moment, but a win for them. They could actually go above Port Vale all the way up to as high as 15th themselves on this one. Going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one. I cannot separate the two sides. Next, of course, we have fruitful Bolton Wanderers up against Scunthorpe United. Of course, played the last 5-3 for Bolton, 1 for Scunthorpe, and 1 draw last time around at Boundary Park, Reebok Stadium, whatever you want to call it. It was a 2-1 win for Bolton back in League 1 2016. Josh Vale, James Henry on the score sheet, Neil Bishop as well. They did play each other this season at Scunthorpe at I can't remember the stadium. 1-0 win for Bolton. Peter Chioso on the score sheet, giving them the win. Heading into this, though, Bolton winning 4 in the past 5 games. The only hiccup was a draw against Morecambe. Meanwhile, Scunthorpe also winning 4 of the last, winning 4 games on a row as well. Looking very, very good. Scunthorpe at the moment, climbing at the table at the right time. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Bolton coming at you 20-19 on for the victory. 3-1 is your Scunthorpe, and it is 12-5 is your draw. Scunthorpe in 16th for the win for them. They could actually go as high as 12th. Bolton are in 10th, and like I said at the start, to win for them, they could actually go as high as 7th in the table. That's playoffs. I've given them the rub of the green here with a 2-0 win, and maybe, just maybe, Bolton can turn the season right around at the right time. Next, of course, we have Walsall up against Newport. County played in the last 4. 1 win for Newport, nothing for Walsall. 3 draws, including 3 draws on a row. And they've all been in League 2. Of course, last round in Walsall was a draw back in 2019, 0-0 in the end. They also played each other this season over in Newport down in Wales. That was a 1-1 draw as well. Elijah Adebayo, Jojo on Scottish Scott Twine as well for Newport County. Heading into this, just 1 win in the past 6 for Newport County. That's against Grimsby. 1 win in the past 6 for Walsall. That was against Port Vale as well. However, they've only lost once the past 6 as well, losing to Cheltenham. The rest have been draws. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Walsall Walsall coming at you. Of course, on Wednesday, 11-8 for the Victory, 9-4 is your 2-1 is your Newport County. Newport County, of course, free falling down 7th at the moment, but a win for them. They could actually go as back as high as 3rd, whereas Walsall are actually in 14th at the moment. A win for them, they could go as high as 11th. I think they just lost their manager, Walsall, to Port Vale. I don't know in the end. I've gone with on this one with a 1-1 draw, points separating the two sides in the end. And then next up, of course, we have the Vegans taking, of course, Southend. Of course, the Vegans coming at you for screen, of course, winning the last round. The only encounter that these two sides have had in recent times anyway was a 1-0 win back in November over at Roots Hall. Of course, goal scorer on the day, Jake Young on the score sheet. Of course, heading into this, just one defeat the past 6 games for the Vegans. Of course, that was against Tranmere. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 6 games for Southend. That was against Newport County as well. Look at the bookies odds. Also on Wednesday, it's 20-11 on for the Vegans. They are the Stone Cold favourites. 14-5 is your 5-1 is your Southend. Southend coming at you down in 22nd. Better win for them. They could close in on 21st. As for the Vegans, they are second, and win for them. They could actually go top of the pops. Oh yeah, top of the pops with a big fat they're going their way. They'll get the win as well. 2-1 win over Southend to put them top of the pops potentially, of course, depending on what goes on with Cambridge. And if I'm right, get my predictions bang on the nose. This is what the table will look like at the end of it. Cambridge will be, of course, top of the pops, 55 points on the board. The Vegans will be second. Morecambe will remain in third. As for Cheltenham, Exeter, and Tranmere, Salford, they'll be in the playoffs with, of course, Bolton keeping up the heat with a win away from going to top 4. Goodness gracious me. As for the foot of the table, it's Grimsby and Barrow going down. Of course, that's just what I think. Be sure to get your own picks in nice and early down below. Of course, we'll do it all again midweek with, of course, another set of match day for you, because we're just keeping this quite content right here, right now. But that's it, my friends. That's all I've got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash your thumbs up. But if you are new, bang your subscribe to keep me banging today with all things League 2 related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football related all here under Waruski. Of course, yeah, the games are coming thick and fast. And of course, we're going to try and keep up the heat with all of them. If you're new, make sure you check out the links of all that stuff down below. And I'll see you all next time with, of course, some more League 2 drama. Can Bolton get into the playoff hunt? And of course, what about Bradford? Are they still out of the woods? We'll take a look at all of that next time around. But until then, smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe. I'll see you all next time.